Go.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Where to go? Okay, start. Okay. Wait. I started first.
Okay. I'll go.
Oh, start?
You ready?
No.
Okay.
First of all, I want to say thank you all so much. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to even attend the National Youth Gathering this year. I met so many amazing people, I ate some interesting food, and I gave tons of free hugs. However, I think my favorite part of the week was listening to our speakers at Mass Gathering. From eating disorders and self-harm to fighting world hunger and addictions, and even feeling like you don't really belong anywhere. I really felt God speak through them to me. Have you ever had one of those moments where there's no one else in the room and God is just speaking to you? I really felt God's presence. I had a rough time last year with my body image and my self-worth, and I felt God saying, I forgive you for all of that. And it was amazing. A huge weight that I didn't even know was there was lifted off of my shoulders. And each of their messages spoke to one concept of my life one way or another, my insecurities, my strengths, and everything in between. So, thank you so much, because without you, I wouldn't have had the experience of a lifetime.
This past week in Houston has been a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Throughout the week, I was able to learn about the Holocaust, about Houston, and about others around me. I was able to meet people from our own church, our conference, our synod, and our great nation. I had fun, whether it be our eating challenges, our antics, or always looking for Jerry. Most importantly, I've furthered my faith and learned more about it. Seeing 30,000 people from across the United States that are just like me was amazing. And I'd like to thank all of you for this opportunity. One of my favorite parts about the experience was always dancing, whether it be out of the Astros game, there was a band playing the trumpet, playing the saxophone, all of us were just going crazy, jumping everywhere. And whether we're walking and waiting in line to take a picture, we were always dancing, having fun, and especially at the gathering at night, especially when we're on the floor, we're all up on the stage dancing and having a great time, and it was honestly one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Wanted to say thank you so much for all the support you've given us to get us here to Houston. It's been such a great experience, especially to see that there are other Lutherans that are our age. There's not necessarily a lot of us at Crossroad, but 30,000 kids it's a lot, and the energy there is unimaginable, and that's been really a unique experience to see that many people in our age group that actually have the same beliefs and do the same things. We just want to thank you so much for your support and for getting us here. We've had lots of crazy experiences, from really interesting food to really funny moments with Pastor being crazy and dancing, which you don't see at church every Sunday. So thank you again for everything you've done to get us here and for helping us create these memories.
So many leaders, you ask for followers, so keep on leading.
First of all, there are no words to describe the emotions I felt at the Mass gatherings. I could go from laughing to almost tearing up within like a minute. The speakers were all very inspiring, most of which had gone through trials and tribulations, yet now they have such a strong faith, and that really provided me with a lot of hope, and hope changes everything. one of the days the theme was hope, and at the mass gathering they decided to use the flashlight on their phone to like represent hope, and so during the songs we would like wave it around and everyone was singing. It was really beautiful. I saw God in that moment. Hope makes you realize that you're not alone, and having that tangible representation of everyone there is really powerful and it's life-changing. One of my favorite quotes from one of the speakers was that there's grace for that. There's grace for that. I don't think it can be phrased any better. No matter what you're going through in life, God's grace is always going to be with you, and that's very powerful. And finally, one of my favorite things was probably being on the floor during one of the mass gatherings. I loved dancing, and everything was so powerful. You could just feel the Holy Spirit in the room that night. It was amazing. The whole week I was really amazed by the friendliness of everyone. You could just like come up to people and like say like, hey, where are you from? And like people were giving like free hugs the whole week, and it was just such a beautiful environment that you don't really see in everyday society. It was amazing. With all the people you saw, like, you met people from like Alaska to, there was actually a group from like Hawaii and just all over, mostly from the north though. But you could really see the massiveness of the ELCA. Finally, I want to thank everyone for getting the youth to Houston. It was life-changing, and I'm really grateful for it.
Now we're learning to surrender. In our weakness, you are strong. When we're desperate for a breakthrough, we find hope in you alone. You're there with us, with us. Jesus, you never leave. This changes everything. Everything. This changes everything.
So the biggest thing about the gathering is that there's just so many people. Like 30,000 is a crazy number, and especially in a big old stadium, it's like really crazy. And it made me realize that our church is only like a small part of like an even bigger part of like the church, and it's really crazy. And about all these people, they like always go up to anyone in the room and like ask people where they're from and how they are. Just go up to people just because we're all Lutheran and we're all together, and that's really where I saw God a lot. And we got to serve the community by going to a small little elementary and sorting a ton of books and saving the administrators there a ton of work. But it's something I really do because I don't serve the community very well, and I should really do that. And something I loved was getting to know the rest of the youth more, because I feel like I didn't know them very well before now, and now we have a bunch of ongoing and inside jokes, and it's really fun. It made the week enjoyable, and I learned that in the end I learned that God doesn't need me, but he wants me, which is something I really needed to hear. And I feel like I've been invited back into the faith through this experience, which is really
God when we went to the mass gathering, because there's so many stories about people and how they met God, and to see how like God influenced their lives, it was just amazing. And so like in that whole stadium I just felt God, and it was amazing. I'm gonna always remember like going there with a Crossroad family and having a good time, and all the people that I met. It's amazing that like people come from all around the U.S. here, and that I got to meet all of them.
Up and down the boulevard, there's shadows searching in the night. Street lights, people
truly has already started.
Well, this trip has been a truly unforgettable experience. It was the most amazing experience I have ever had. I already said experience twice, but whatever. And there were so many God moments, like putting on the robes that the pastors wear and everything. And I just felt like consumed by Jesus. And at the mass gatherings, I actually started crying at one of them because all of the joy and all of the emotions I felt was just overpowering. And I just want to thank you guys for everything that you did and helped us raise all of this money for us to go on this trip. You truly have changed my life, and I have grown in my faith exponentially. And it's been a fantastic experience, and if I could ever go again, I definitely would go again.
We need your power in us. We seek your kingdom first. We hunger and we thirst. Refuse to waste.
What I learned about was like what the Holocaust did to society. Learning about Guinea Owens, a blind lady who was like kind of rejected and stuff like that. And seeing pictures of a flood in Houston and how it impacted it. The second day, I learned about a girl who had an eating problem, dancing in front of a crowd, and seeing a professor's daughter, Phoenix, and I cried because it was beautiful. The third day, I learned about a guy who used to like cut himself and how it impacted me because I had friends who had done it and stuff, and it was like really fun. Like the whole day was like really fun. Today I was really happy, and I was crying during the speeches because they were just so motivational to me. They were part of me because I had some of the same problems that they went through. I enjoyed being here. It was really fun for me. Helped me come out of my shell more from my shyness. So I really enjoyed this. And someday I really hope my friends would come and be part of it, because God is just very surprising what He can do.
Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Bismillah, no, we will not let you go. Let him go! Bismillah, we will not let you go. Let him go! Bismillah, we will not let you go. Let me go! We'll not let you go. Let me go! We'll not let you go. Let me go! Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia. Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me. For me. For me.
To be more specific about the sign that I was holding, it was the best experience ever. It was so much fun. It was one of the greatest parts of our entire trip. Not only did it affect me, but it affected every single one of us. It was awesome. I just felt like the Holy Spirit through every single person that came in contact with me was like the Holy Spirit pounding on my chest, telling me that he loves me and he loves the people that are around me. It helped me view the church in more of a way, a better way, that it's not just us here at Crossroad, and that it's not the building, and it's not just our people, that there was a 30,000 kids plus, but that wasn't even the entire church. And beyond the Lutheran church, there's a bigger church beyond that. It's more than just going to a church every single Sunday. It showed me that I have a dear family, and all of us that went on this journey are loved by so many, not only all of you who helped us and supported us to get here, but it was also every single one of the strangers who came up to us, who we went up to, talked to, made friends with, and came to love.